Welcome to Live at Lunch. I'm your host today here on KRFC 88.9 FM, streaming live at krfcfm.org. I'm David V. And today's special guest here on Live at Lunch is iZCALLi. iZCALLi here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. All right, how you guys doing today?
Doing great, thank you.
Feeling good? Sounding good. Got a brand new album, iZCALLi, and it is called Rebirth. And I'm going to speak with Miguel Avina, Brenda Avina, and Luigi Ramirez, and Josh Lee all today. I'll start out with you, Miguel. The new album's pretty diverse. You've got a lot of interesting new things on it. The last albums were 3 and 4, and this is Rebirth. So tell me a little bit about the story behind that.
Well, first of all, thank you for having us here. Such an honor to be back here. Love coming to Fort Collins. But yeah, so first the first 4 albums were numbered. 2 of them were numbered in there. And then we had Casa de Papel. Then the pandemic hit. Obviously, that was kind of a stoppage there. And we thought it was a great time for us to take a new step in a wider or broader direction for the band. Did a lot of spiritual growth, a lot of personal growth during that time, which kind of was the catalyst for writing a variety of music on this new album. So we were really excited to share it with people because it did really pop us open musically, genre-wise, and expressively. So very proud of this new album, Rebirth, and I think it was fitting considering what society was going through, what we were going through as musicians, as artists, that it just felt like a perfect name for this release.
How'd the lockdown in 2020 affect you guys? Did you all get together as a group to write, or did you do it remotely, or I mean, what was the situation like, and how'd you keep yourself busy during that time?
Well, we tried to keep a pulse on what was going on, and obviously it was something that required some awareness to navigate. You know, obviously there was a safety concern, making sure everybody was staying safe, not only ourselves but our families and our fans. So we were always very aware of what was going on, and you know, we were itching to get back on stage, but knew that that would require the proper measures. So during that time, we just kind of were trying to create. We did get involved in doing some of the online and virtual stuff, which was cool for a moment there, but it was also, it has its own barriers and challenges in terms of connecting with people.
Doesn't generate a lot of income either.
And it does, that's right, it doesn't generate a lot of income, but even just the human connection that's kind of required in terms of like performing on stage, that was missing from all of that. So we did what we could with that, but knew that, you know, as soon as the horizon was clear, we'd want to get back out there. And we did that very safely, of course. Rock de Mayo that we threw last year was one of the first like music festivals in Colorado that was allowed to do outdoor like space events. So we were very proud to present that.
Who all did you have on the bill with you?
On Rock de Mayo, we had El Cro, 2MX2, Vic and the Narwhals, Mono Verde Collective, Wes Watkins, and am I missing anybody else there? I think that was it.
Where was that at?
At Levitt. Yeah, and so we still were one of the last shows to have the pod system. They had like separations and stuff there for people, but
was that difficult to perform that way?
The performance, not so much. I mean, we definitely wanted to keep everybody safe, so we were following as much of the protocol, but that was like the last show that they had doing that. Literally the next show was not going to have that. So people kind of at the end just went wild. And so we did what we could in keeping everybody safe. But that's what you do in life. You do your best and try to bring that awareness and you know, do the best that you can to keep everybody safe always.
Was that your first time playing at Levitt Pavilion?
No, we've played there pretty much since it opened at different levels. So it's been a pleasure playing that venue. It's a beautiful venue, great work that they do there. We've got to open for a slew of international bands there, but most recently we've been able to do our own headlining shows there, which is a big feat for a local band. Or a band in general, to do something like that. So we did Rock de Mayo, which was a Latin music festival, essentially. And then we did our album release this past June at Levitt as well.
Speaking of big shows, you've got La Posada coming up, the 9th annual one at the Gothic Theater. This is your first time headlining that. That's going to be December 10th, Saturday. And you've got a couple of great bands playing with you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so La Posada is a concept that we've been doing for 9 years. I think probably our first posada ever was at Illegal Pete's at a restaurant, like just bringing our own PA and everything. And just it's shown how far we've come as a band and as a production overall, being able to step into these venues and not only command like what the stipulations are, the production, but get to call the shots in terms of like who we're playing with and pricing and everything. It's a big deal for us to be able to position ourselves in that, especially this day and age in this market where a lot of artists don't have control over that. So it takes time. It's taken us time to empower ourselves to get to that position. So we're very grateful to be there. But yeah, so bringing with that, we wanted to bring on some bands and give them the opportunity to do the same thing for themselves and also complement the music that we bring that show that night. La Posada, or for many Latinos that know about...
That means the inn, right?
Yeah, it means the inn, but really it stems from a religious celebration, from like... the Mexican olden days when people would go to other people's houses and celebrate and sing traditional Catholic songs and things like that. But we've given it a spin. Definitely what we remember from growing up with Las Posadas was the camaraderie and the family and the celebration at the end of the year. So we decided to take that model and kind of mold it into our own. And for the last 9 years, we've been doing that and throwing a kind of an end of the year show where we can thank our fans, bring our families, bring people together, an immersive cultural experience is what I would call it for sure.
What's the best place for people to go to get information, tickets about the show coming up here at the Gothic?
So that they can check us out at all of our social media accounts at iZCALLi Rock. And the best place to get the tickets would be at axs.com.
And that's iZCALLi, iZCALLi.
Absolutely.
Well, you just played, let's see here, you got Como El Mar, and then On My Own, which is off the brand new one. Como El Mar was off of which album?
Casa de Papel.
Oh, the one right before this
yes.
one. You're going to be playing One Last Time next for us?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about it.
One Last Time is a song that's also on our new album. It actually features another Colorado female vocalist and artist, Bailey Alora. We co-wrote that song during the pandemic, actually. We took some time and started off as like kind of an acoustic idea. Then we liked it enough and it was popular enough for us that we would include it on this album. So she's featured on this album as well, on that song with us. But yeah, we really enjoy playing that song.
Do you do a lot of collaborations? I mean, I can think of maybe Pink Hawks or somebody like that you do.
We did a song with Roca Hueca on our iZCALLi 4.
Great.
Yeah, they're a ska band, and Andy Gonzalez.
And you have some ska on like, is it number 3 or number 4?
Yeah,
I was listening to
3 and 4. Yeah. But definitely like to include that. So we took that opportunity to have Andy come and join us on that song on that album. But yeah, collaborations, they can be fun and sometimes they're difficult because it's like you have to bring the truth, right? Sometimes it doesn't work, it doesn't pan out. And I've worked with a lot of musicians and it's fun, but it's got to be a connection for sure.
Right,
and
absolutely.
so Bailey is a very young artist. She's very talented as well. So we were able to just fit the right way. So we were very happy to have her.
Excellent. Well, one last time.
Thank you.
iZCALLi here on KRFC's Live at Lunch.
Tell me you love me. You'll say it's a lie. Just wanna hear those words fall off your lips and onto mine. Don't care if in the morning you'll regret the entire night. Just wanna hear you say those words one last time. Let's close our eyes and jump stay through it all. Darkness in my eyes. If I bend, would you fall? One last time. Let's close our eyes and jump. Man, it's a long way falling. Love should be there at the break of dawn. It shouldn't be so rough. I'll hold your hand as we're falling in. Oh, don't you think it'll be enough? Let's close our eyes and jump. Man, it's a long way falling in. We should be there to break our fall. It shouldn't be so rough. I'll hold your hand as we're falling in. Oh, don't you think it'll be enough?
iZCALLi live here on KRFC 88.9 FM's Live at Lunch. I'm going to speak with Brenda Avina. How are you today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm great. You and Miguel started the band, am I correct in that?
Well, he started with another friend of his, but I joined in 2006.
2006. And
yeah.
if I remember right, excuse me, you guys have been together as a band like 17 years now.
Yeah, seems so.
It's been a while. What got you into music? Was the family musical? I mean, do you have other siblings besides you two?
My dad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so my dad has his band to this day, and he started a band probably since he was 17.
Give him a shout out. What's the band?
El Cro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Down in Denver?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's in Denver. Yeah, so he still plays around, and we still, share the bill sometimes, so it's nice to play with my dad. Anybody else in the family musical like you guys? My sister did a little bit of singing for a little while, but not really, just us three. So would you say, both you and Miguel, was your dad the influence that really got you guys in playing into music? Yeah, I think my dad was influence for both of us, but I think Miguel was also my influence. It's just kind of like, here's a bass, I need a bass player. He was always losing bass players, so it was just kind of like, you're going to play the bass. And I didn't really
Big brother says, I need some help. Here,
Yeah.
You're playing bass.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, it was kind of the favor why I started playing with him, and then I just stuck around.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys, are you playing in any other bands at all, or is this keeping all your time? Yeah, just this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously putting out as many albums as you guys have. 6 albums now. Do I have that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the best place for people to find information about the music too? Is that also the iZCALLiRock.com?
Yeah, probably Facebook and Spotify.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Instagram.
So, what are you listening to these days? What kind of music?
I'm obsessed right now with this artist called Paul Granch. He's from Spain, so I'm really into that right now.
Is that rock? Is it classical guitar?
He's like pop.
Pop?
Yeah, he's like pop. Yeah.
Cool. And would you say that's what influences a lot of what you guys listen to, music from other cultures, or
I
are you
think
listening
so.
to American rock or blues, or?
Yeah, I think a little bit of everything. I mean, we all listen to, similar things, but we all have our own, like, I like cumbia and like salsa, a lot of Latin music, and like Miguel is a little bit more classic rock. So I think, we're all over the place. Yeah.
All right.
I think that reflects in our music, though.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a wide variety of of genre influences on all the albums. It's not just one sound or one vibe. I think that's what makes iZCALLi special. And I'm going to get over to Luigi Ramirez.
Hello.
You weren't the original drummer with the band, but you've been with them a while now. If I remember right, you started pretty young. You were like, what, 16 when you started with the band?
I was 15 when I
15.
When I first joined.
So you've been with them a while now?
Yeah, about 6 years.
All right. All right. Have you always been a drummer?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
My dad is the one that got me into music.
Uh-huh. Was he also a drummer?
He's a drummer, yeah. He plays guitar and bass and other instruments.
Is he still
as well,
playing?
He is, yeah. Yeah.
What, does he have a band down in Denver too, or?
He used to. Back in the 90s, he used to play with some buddies, rock en español and things like that. So whenever I would see him play, I'm like, that's what I want to play. I want to play the drums.
Excellent. Well, he probably gave you a lot of pointers, and you picked up a lot just watching, I'm sure, too.
I learned a lot from my dad.
So no formal lessons, just watching Dad?
Yep.
Yeah. What are you listening to these days?
I think I'm finally breaking my my Mars Volta phase. Mars Volta a whole lot, but I listen to a lot of ska, and I also listen to just music from Mexico, just traditional norteñas and things like that.
You say cumbia or?
Cumbia, yeah, that too. And so in this new record, I try to kind of mix in some of those influences in there too.
Yeah. Any Denver area bands that you're listening to that you like?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to name.
Turn our listeners on to them.
Rimo Cascabel, I've been listening to them a lot. They're actually going to play with us at the Gothic for La Posada.
On December 10th.
December 10th, yes.
At the Gothic. Mm-hmm.
So we're excited about that.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to get over to Mr. Josh Lee over there on violin and guitar.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good, are you?
Great. Are you originally from Denver also as well?
No, I'm actually from South Korea.
Yeah? And when did you come here? To America, or to Colorado?
2001.
Yeah? Did you go right from Korea to Denver?
Straight to Colorado.
Was that a culture shock at all?
Oh, yeah. Actually, the first day I landed, it rained, hailed, snowed, and it was sunny by 4 o'clock.
Yeah, so. It must have been 80 degrees then in the afternoon.
Yeah, so yeah.
It's no joke, folks.
I wouldn't call that a culture shock, more like a ecological shock. Yeah.
Yeah, really, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you came with family, or you came by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I was 12 at the time, so I came with my
great.
family. Yeah.
And what got you into music? Were you in music in South Korea, or did you pick it up once you came over here?
Well, over in South Korea, we call it the Asian Tiger Mom education. Most kids have to take certain electives, and
violin was yours, huh?
A lot of times it tends to be violin and piano, so violin was mine.
And I've heard that a lot with the Asian culture.
Oh,
that, violin or piano, it seems to be the two.
Yep.
And thank God for you, it was violin.
Yeah, somebody.
Are you playing with any other bands yourself?
Yeah, so I'm a freelance, so I play with a lot of DJs around town. If anybody needs violin, I get the call and I show up and play with bands.
So when you say you're playing with DJs, are you doing the turntables and stuff too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I very much suck at technology and anything that has to do with laptops and stuff like that. So
you're playing violin with them?
Yeah, so I play with a DJ called Shake One. He's a DMC champion. He's nationally known. And then a couple other DJs under his cloud. And then I have my own band called Eldrin, although we haven't been.
Oh, Eldrin. Yeah, I'm familiar. I didn't realize you were with him. Oh,
yeah. Although we haven't been active in a little while, we kind of moved to different states.
We have, I think, 3 of your albums at stations.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get back into some music here, and I know that One Last Time was from the new album. You're going to be playing Unglued and Waiting for Something. Those are both off the new album as well. And again, the new album is called Rebirth. And why don't you tell a little bit about Unglued? It was an interesting title. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
It talks about, like I mentioned, that been going through some personal growth kind of deals and spirituality kind of deals. So it talks about a little bit about that, separating yourself from kind of a relationship, but even more so than just a breakup, even more so like finding the independence of yourself, letting yourself go of kind of the expectations that come with being in a relationship, and also kind of the expectations that other people, put on you when you are in a relationship. So it's kind of like a pseudo love song / self love song. but it's also really heavy, so you can't really tell maybe that's the message when you
it's not a nice sweet love ballad, it's a rocker.
No. But yeah, it's a rockin' song, so we love playing it. And it's also one of the first songs we've recorded and played in drop D tuning, which we had never experimented with. Same kind of deal as like something that we decided to do on this album, just to push things a little bit further.
Okay. Mm-hmm. iZCALLi here on Live at Lunch.
my faults too. I guess nothing. I thought I had you. Can we look around this? My shadow's out to prove it still was something. If not to us, to who? I guess you know how far we've gone. We walked for miles. Let's end the trial.
iZCALLi live here on KRFC's Live at Lunch, streaming live at krfcfm.org. I'd like to remind everybody that you can always go to our KRFC RadioVision YouTube channel and view every show that we have saved from past and future performances. And if you'd like to watch this show, obviously, great place to go is our KRFC RadioVision. And while you're there, go ahead and give us a subscribe, and you'll receive a notification every week of who the band of the week is and when to tune in. And give everybody a chance to, speaking of tuning in there, except for, except for Luigi back there. He doesn't need that. Well, guys, I'm going to ask you kind of a personal question, I guess. You know, have you experienced a lot of issues with, culture as far as people refusing to book you or to accept your music, or has Denver been an accepting place?
It's an interesting question because, especially like I was mentioning about the personal growth thing, a lot of the things in life have to do a lot with your perception in terms of how you respond to what others are doing and how they're treating you. And I think it's a mix between having the awareness to have a response that serves you and also setting boundaries for yourself. And I think the journey that we've had in our music has been an example of that. As I can say, for example, we started playing some shows early on where the main reason we were booked is because we were the Mexican band, right? Some people didn't even know what we played. Some people assumed we played mariachi, or some people assumed we played Los Lobos or Santana, which are great bands, by the way, just not what we necessarily present. And so it was interesting to see that. So we'd get calls for Cinco de Mayo and like Dia de los Muertos, and then it was like, okay, well, kind of
do you know how we sound?
Yeah, like, right. But we never turned down those opportunities because we also saw them as chances to educate people and to diversify the scene and also expose people to it. Because if we weren't there, they would never know, and then we would never be holding place there for a band like ourselves or anybody else, setting a stage for another artist to come behind us and say, oh yeah, now we know iZCALLi, then we can expect something different. We know that Mexican music or Latin music is not just cumbia, bachata,
or Carlos Santana,
right?
Which again, fantastic.
Yes.
You know, love Carlos, but
right. And it's no knock on people. Like when we come to Fort Collins, we have a great response here, despite the fact that it's majority Anglo. But at the beginning, it was like, hey man, you guys sound a lot like Carlos Santana, or you guys sound like Los Lobos, and it was like, well, it's a great compliment as a musician.
But that's not what you're shooting
it's
for.
It's not who we are.
Yeah.
And then little by little, they would identify what the band is and then know that that's not what we are. And then they would give us our own identity, and people recognize that nowadays. As we were talking earlier at the beginning, before the show, you know, sharing the anecdote when we played the first show ever in Fort Collins was at a small bar and it wasn't even on a showcase. And then this last year, for all intents and purposes, headlining Foco MX was a big deal for us because, you know, it showed the growth and also the acceptance of people and the collaboration of us and the acceptance of us educating the scene on who we are and establishing ourselves.
And lending a hand out to some of these newer bands, like it'll be opening for you at the Gothic on the 10th of December.
Absolutely.
You know, that's wonderful that you're doing that you're sharing your knowledge and the acceptance of your crowd for other upcomers.
Absolutely. It's about community. I think that's what it comes down to. In anything that I've watched or researched in terms of successful music bands, it started with community for sure. I don't think anybody just blew up in a silo.
I think I could be wrong because I'm going to ask this question, but about the name iZCALLi, because a little bit about iZCALLi, other than it being the 18th month of the Aztec calendar and also a place in Mexico. I don't know if maybe you have family that came from that area originally, but sharing and acceptance and helping others is another term for iZCALLi. Is that where you guys got the name?
Well, we are from Mexico City originally. My sister and I are from Mexico City.
Mm-hmm. And when did you guys come to the U.S.?
And for the first time in '92, and then the second time in 2001.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fantastic that you did.
Yeah, and we.
Actually, him and I used to live in the same apartment complex when we were in the United States, and we had no idea.
Down in Denver? Yeah. And you had no idea that you both lived there until later on when you got together as musicians.
Actually, just recently
I've talked to, believe me, I've interviewed quite a few artists here over the last couple of years who say that same thing. It's like, I used to live on the same block, 3 or 4 houses down. We didn't even know each other, you know. Music brings people together, right?
Absolutely.
But the second time you came back was 2001.
Yeah.
And that was with the whole family or just you two?
The whole family, yeah. And we grew up in Mexico City, born in Mexico City. And actually, iZCALLi is actually in Mexico State, which is right at the border of Mexico City. So we always considered ourselves from Mexico City, but iZCALLi is in Mexico State, and that's where we grew up in. But yeah, so when it came time to come up with the name of the band, I always felt very tied and authentic with representing like my heritage. So even though at the time iZCALLi was just an acoustic kind of trio kind of situation, nothing like this, but it began with that. And then later I researched because people were asking me like, what's the meaning of iZCALLi? And I would just always tell them that's where I'm from. And then after that, I was like, there's got to be a deeper meaning.
There's so many
I found that it was
multiple explanations for it. Yeah.
I think we were talking about language earlier, and it has to do with context too, because it can also mean rebirth. It can also mean house of rebirth.
Which, by the way, is the name of the new album.
Yes. House of rebirth. And so it has a lot of meanings that are special to us. We just brought back that logo on the cover of that album. That was our original iZCALLi logo, and we went through different phases of the logo. Finally, with this music that we put on this album, I felt like it was representative of the music. It never really felt like it was, but it took that long for us to develop an identity and finally own like where we were coming from. So it was very special for us.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to get back into a little bit. Corriendo con Todo. Mm-hmm. And what's that about?
Corriendo con Todo is on iZCALLi 3. It's one of our third album, of course. Song is pretty much like a lot of my early songs about relationships and stuff. Just realizing that sometimes in a relationship, one person is carrying a little bit more than the other, seems lopsided and things like that. So having awareness of that is key. But yeah, also being mindful that when that happens, someone can be hurting or someone may be causing that pain, but there's always a way to figure it out at the end.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Well, iZCALLi here on Live at Lunch.
Combato sin miedo, con el eco de fe que da tu voz, marca el camino al que seguir. Voy corriendo con todo. 3 disparos, se hundió mi voz. Sin darme cuenta te perdí. Voy corriendo hacia el viento, cargando el peso de 1000 penas con mi voz. Por cuanto más podré seguir. El invierno es inmenso, convierte todo en hielo hasta el sudor. Cuando no estás aquí, comando sin miedo, con el eco de fe que da tu voz, marca el camino al que seguir. A veces me pierdo, cargábamos tanto entre los dos y ahora me pesa a mí. El camino es incierto, sigo confiando en mis letras y la canción que nos dejaste aquí. El invierno es inmenso, convierte todo en hielo hasta el sudor. Cuando no estás aquí, combato sin miedo, con el eco de fe que da tu voz, marca el camino al
iZCALLi here live on KRFC's Live at Lunch. Yeah, that's a rocker. I like that one. So you will be having the La Posada, the 9th annual one, at the Gothic Theater on Saturday, December 10th, with additional bands. Are there any other shows after that in December that you'd like to talk about?
No, that'll be the last
one?
show of the year. That's a big one. Yeah, it's a big one for us. Like I said, it's been years in the making. We've had the fortune of opening up for a lot of bands there. It's a great venue, historic venue. Very fortunate to have the show there. But yeah, it's a big show for us. So that'll be the end of the year for us, and then start planning for next year for sure.
Do you guys all spend a lot of family time in the holiday season together, traditionally?
Absolutely. So yeah, within the career that we've had so far with iZCALLi, we've all had kids, babies and everything. So it's an awesome situation to be in, to be able to enjoy that, to have all these aspects of your life and filled with love, being able to be on stage, being able to go home and have a family, and all with struggles, of course,
Sure.
Ups and downs with everything, but it's still lovely to have.
How old are your kids?
I have a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Are they musical yet?
Not yet. I'm letting them be and letting them find their way, but those are things that happen organically. I think they're just better off that way.
How about you, Brenda? Children?
Yes, I have 3.
And how old are they?
3-year-old and 2-year-old boy-girl twins.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're not musical yet?
No.
All right. So, of course, do you have a large family?
Yeah, well, it's Brenda. I have another sister, Nancy, another sister, Betsy, myself, and my mom and my dad.
You're the only boy, huh?
Yeah.
All right. A lot of sisters. Well, it worked out. How about you guys? You from large families, small families?
I have my brother Chris, 2 sisters, Danny and Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the oldest.
Are they in bands too?
Yeah, my brother, he plays a lot of guitar.
Yeah?
And my 2 sisters, they sing. They like to sing.
There you go. That's a musical family. Josh.
For my dad. And my mom also sings. My mom
your
also
mom
sings.
is a singer too?
Yeah, she likes to sing a lot.
Are they still out playing, or they just were formerly musicians? Your mom and dad?
Well, my mom just does it for fun. She's a good singer. My dad is one that does it a little bit more often. But yeah, we play at the house all the time.
You play with them at all?
Me and my brother usually jam sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
Here and there. Yeah.
Big house. How about you, Josh?
Oh, yeah. My family's very musical. My dad's a Presbyterian pastor, so we grew up in a church with
church choir too,
choir and all that stuff. So my mom's operatic singer. So is my dad. My sister is actually the talent in the family. She graduated from Berklee School of Music.
She does what?
She's a jazz singer.
Wow.
And
what's her name?
Esther. And her husband is a jazz guitarist. So, yeah.
Are they here locally, or did they stay on the East Coast?
They actually just had a kid. I'm a new uncle.
All right, congrats to that.
So we're gonna turn her into the best musician that. Well, she's gonna learn all of it.
Not giving her a choice.
There you go.
No, I'm playing. But yeah, it's a very musical family, and it's really nice coming from a family background.
And like you said about church, I speak with so many people who started singing in church or church bands or whatever, and seems to be a major influence on a lot of musicians coming up, or family. Well, we've got about 6 minutes left. We've got enough, I think, time for the last 2 songs. I would like to thank our video crew today, which is Chris Winslow and Eric Delano and Jeremy Smith, and also our audio crew of Andy Howes and Colton Benning, and they always do a fantastic job. Thank you, guys. Excellent. Here on Live at Lunch, what are you going to leave us out with today?
We have Algo por Dos and Esa Forma de Vivir.
And let's see, are those either... Let's see. Those don't seem to be on the new album, are they?
No, those are some oldies. So Valgo por Dos is from the second album, Despiértame, and Esa Forma de Vivir is from iZCALLi 3.
Excellent. Well, iZCALLi, it's been fun having you guys here today. Thanks for coming up from Denver. We appreciate it. And I'm sure everyone will be able to looking out for you guys December 10th at the Gothic Theater. What time does the show start, do you think?
Doors open at 8.
8.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. Thank you so much for having us.
atrapaste. Con esa forma de seguir envenenaste mi sentido del humor. Has dejado un desastre, me has vuelto loco y no sé cómo curarme. Con esa forma de vivir me atrapaste. Con esa forma de seguir envenenaste. Cuando íbamos de aquí, norte, sur, en todas partes. Quiero volver, pero no puedo encontrarte. Volver a mí es una forma de vivir. Vuelves aquí es una forma de seguir así. Seguir sin ti ya no es forma de vivir. Vuelves aquí pero vuelves. Pero vuelves. Esa forma de vivir me atrapaste. Con esa forma de seguir envenenaste. Me entretuve con tu piel y ya no puedo quejarme. Que al despertar ya no pude encontrarte. Con esa forma de vivir me atrapaste. Y tal vez soy yo que miento cuando juraste. Yo te declaré mi amor, fue demasiado tarde. Quiero volver pero no puedo encontrarte. Volver a mí es una forma de vivir. Vuelves aquí es una forma de seguir así. Seguir sin ti ya no es forma de vivir. Vuelves aquí pero vuelves. Volver a mí es una forma de vivir. Volver aquí es una forma de vivir. Sin ti ya no es forma de vivir. Volver a mí ya no es forma de vivir. Vuelves aquí pero vuelves. Pero vuelves. Na 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 na.